Comedian Griff Rhys has been in Bradford today to lend his support to a group who want to take over the city's derelict Odeon cinema.
Now, the 1930s building was saved from demolition in September. Now, a group called Bradford One wants to turn it into a community facility. Spencer Stokes has more.
The battle to save the former Odeon has been won, and now attention's turning to the question of what to do with the building that's currently wrapped in plastic. Griff Rhys is offering his help. He brought Hackney's Empire Cinema back to life and is backing a group called Bradford One, who have Odeon restoration plans.
The reason I'm here is to say not, oh, it'll be difficult, but it will be difficult, but it can be done. It's a question now of ideas and business plans and getting things working, but it'll also be a question of getting support because the building needs to be restored.
The extent of the restoration work needed is revealed in these newly released photographs taken last month. They show the interior of various auditoriums at the Odeon, which is currently owned by a government body, the Homes and Communities Agency. The HCA say they'll sell the cinema for a nominal fee if the redevelopment idea is realistic, and Bradford One believe their scheme is. Bradford One's plans are extremely ambitious. Behind these walls there's a very derelict building, but they want to create a performance space, restaurants, bars and shops, and crucially the project would be owned by the people of Bradford.
We're going to start with the community share issue. Now, we're not expecting the people of Bradford to pay for the whole of the costs of redeveloping, but that, as well as some small grant funding that we can get in the short term, will enable us to do the feasibility studies and develop our business plan. With that, we can then go and talk to developers and put this forward to them as a commercial proposition, because after all, it's got to work as a commercial entity.
Bradford One will find out next year if their ideas have met with approval from the HCA. Critics say that if redevelopment were easy and affordable, it would have already happened. But getting backing from a man who has cinema restoration experience can't have done Bradford One's campaign any harm. Spencer Stokes, BBC Look North, Bradford.
Well, Griff has not just been in Bradford, he's here for a few days because he's also touring other towns, cities, even villages in Yorkshire, in his role as the president of the Civic Voice. Now, the Civic Voice is the national organisation representing Britain's civic societies. I asked him if to determine whether a town or city was successful, you had to take note of the old adage and look up.
Betchman used to say, as you walk around, you know, always to take a look at the roofs and the ways. And what's pity is nowadays we walk around a town and you look up and what you see is actually an air conditioning unit, don't you? Or something sticking up the top. One of those mysterious cradles for window cleaners.
We like our value for money, and I was looking at a post of you. I was shopping in lovely little village Addingham. I know you've not been, but you'll love it.
On my way.
And it's £5 to come and see you.
Is it?
Yeah, that's not very expensive.
No, I'm not here to raise money, either for myself, but if they get a little bit of money for the Civic Society, that's for Addingham Civic, because I'm here really to try and say to people, get involved, join in, come. I mean, I'm on a sort of recruitment drive because the government have introduced bits of legislation which are not quite joined up or finished yet, but a localism bill and neighbourhood planning and things like that, and they're sort of saying it's up to the community to decide where it wants new development to happen. They're saying that new development must happen, which is slightly frightening. It's a bit like we have to be careful. It's a bit like a bully's charter. It's saying you're going to be hurt, so where do you want to be hurt? You know.
Because I mean, the big arguments around here would be big housing developments in rural areas. I know that's what you're going to Addingham. Howard's having a campaign. Also, huge wind turbines that everybody's. Is that the kind of thing that you say?
Well, I think what people want, what the people are being encouraged to do is come up with a local plan or a neighbourhood plan which tries to sort out where these things should happen and where, you know, with wind farms, if we're going to have wind farms, what has distressed me about wind farms is they seem to be very badly planned. We've got to strike a balance, but what's happening at the moment with the legislation at the moment is the balance is being put firmly in the hands of what they call business interests or the business community. We should be aware that the business community in modern Britain is often represented by people who do not live here. They may have big sort of shops here or big businesses here, but actually it's head office which is setting the agenda for those big business, and it's head office that will be lobbying the Secretary of State to have things done their way. And it seems to me that we as local people have a right now, it's being enshrined in law, and a duty to get involved and put a voice down. If we can't get that balance, we won't get good places to be. So those
I'm going to have to stop you.
Yeah, because I'm ratting on.
Well,
yeah.
I've heard the message
yes.
loud and clear, but you would hope that other people listening would do the same.
Yes.
Thanks.